Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Rohit Sharad and I have demonstration video on Jira Agile project management tool, and let's get started. Okay team, so first thing first, what we need to do, sign up to a free Jira account. To this, just head over to atlassian.com software/Jira, and that's going to take you to this page. What we want to do, it get started for free. And before we get started, it's important to note that Jira is firstly a software development tool for software teams. However, you can also create a project management workflow that work for different types of businesses too, not just for software development. And in the beginner tutorial, we are going to show you an agile process as well as a traditional business workflow. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started for free. Now what I am going to do is skip this initial process. We have already created a new account, and what we are going to do is meet you on your dashboard once you are sign up. So going to hit sign up free as well, meet your Jira dashboard. Okay, we have gone ahead to create a fresh account and log in into Jira. Remember that Jira as a project management software is first and for most designed for software development. And the first thing we are going to show you today is how to use Jira to create a project management workflow for a software project. So the whole idea of software development stems from creating an agile process. An agile process can be broken down into the functionality, the planning, implementation, testing, and the review stage. Now once you move through the agile process and you get the review stage, you can either build your software or you can go back the planning stage, depending if you are uncover any issue along that project workflow. Okay, so what I am going to do now is walk you through the process of creating a software development workflow, and then within each step of this process I will explain the terminology surrounding each of these stages. Okay, so dividing right into the first project, you can see that first project is called call tracking software integration. This is a software development program that we are going to create for a client. So that is the name of our first project. Now you will see your own project name up here based on the information you gave you initially sign up to Jira. However, you can also navigate up to project and click on the create project and create a new project from scratch. However, we are going to stick to school tracking software integration, which is our first project. Then what we are want to do, navigate our backlog. And this is our software development journey begins in essentially our project management workflow for a software development project. Okay, so firstly what we need to this create our first step in our project workflow. All we need to do is navigate up to create, and here you can see the we are about to create the issue, create an issue. Now think that about an essential element within our workflow that you want to create. Essential, you are creating an element for a project workflow within the Jira that is called an issue. So if we are come with a type, we can change the element to task, bug, or epic, as well as story. What we want to do first is select epic. So our software development journey starts with an epic. Okay, so epic is a new technology that you need to know when it comes to software development. Epic is basically an abstract view of what we need to create of our client. What in a case it is a cool tracking software. So we are going to come down to epic name. So we are going to name this multi-feature tracking software, because this is exactly what our clients want to us to create them, so that client organize can start tracking customer phone calls and other phone calls tracking feature. So that the epic multi-feature call tracking. And once you have added your epic name, come down to summary and you summary epic. So we are going to create a multi call tracking software. Once you are adding summary about your topic, to remember that's the abstract view of what you want to create for a client or what you client need to wants. Then below that we added attachment. We can add further information about the epic. We can also come down to report. I am going to leave that as myself as I create this new issue. Then below that we have an assignment. I am going to select an assign. Later down the track we have a little label, and then below down the have sprint, which is essentially the project management workflow, and we are going to create that shortly. So come down and click here, create your own. Can see your epic has been created. Now what we need to do is navigate back up to create, and under our project that we have selected, we want to select story. So if you click story, this is the next step under epic. This is essentially breaking down what is required to achieve your epic. So for purpose of this project called tracking software integration, I want to come down to summary and add location call tracking, which is the feature, the requirement of the epic. Remember, the epic that we created is cool tracking software multi-feature called tracking software, and this is the one of the stories or one of the feature within my project that I need to complete in order to satisfy that epic. I hope that makes sense. So this is essential. Is the second stage of two project. This is explain what we need to do. Following this, that we are going to do is create tasks that need to complete it in order satisfy the stories and ultimately the epic and this project. So again, if we come down, and here we have the some option that you are going to going through. I am going to leave that and come down and click create. Now I am going to ahead that create one more issue type, which is going to be another story of this, going to be different feature for a purpose, and the tutorial, the feature is going to be tracking keywords spoken by the clients customers. So this is the another story, this is another feature that we need to create. Then again we have the same option down here, we are gonna leave it as the down and click create. Okay, now as you can see, we have two issue types, two stories. I can also navigate down here to create a story. I can select an option on left hand side and select the issue type, whether it's a story, task or bug. I will exit out of that way. I can also do the same by navigating up to create, and then I can come down and select that issue type. But for now we are going the two issue, so I will cancel out that. We have two issue, two stories. Now what we want to do is create a subtask within each of this issue, these stories. So to do that, what we can do is click create issue, navigate over to the left hand side and click task, or we navigate up to create and come down and select task, and then you can fill out the information about the specific task. But what we are going to do is exit out that one again, and now we going head over to create a sprint. We can go ahead to create our project workflow. So what I am going to do is click on this issue, drag out that sprint, and my other issue or my other story, drag the underneath the story. So I now have two stories in my sprint for this particular project. Now I am happy with these two stories. What I am going to do is navigate over to start sprint, and then I go ahead and name the sprint if I like, but I am happy with this name. I can also change the duration of the sprint. So I am going to and go for a 4 weeks. Everything within the project workflow, this must be completed within 4 weeks, and then I can add other information down here I like. But I am going to ahead click start, and here you can see project sprint. You can see we have gone to in process and done section. We can also navigate up to complete sprint. Once all the tasks, the stories have been completed, now we have two stories over here with the limited information. What we can do is double click on each of this issue. In this case, these are the stories, and within stories we want to create a specific task that our team can work towards to complete each of these stories and ultimately the sprint. So firstly I can navigate over to sign and assign a individual. This is the developer 2. They are in change of the story below that we have report, which is myself. We have to label, we can add the story points. This shows how important this stories is completed. So I am going to ahead and click 4, and then down here we have other option. What I am going to navigate up to create a subtask and create a subtask within this story. Create the tracking code for the call tracking. This is the only subtask that we are going to have within the story. Once this subtract has been completed, then the story will be completed. So I am happy with that story and subtask. I am going to click close, and you can see in my project workflow, my sprint, I have one story here, one story here. and then I have one task under this particular story location call tracking. So I can go ahead and do same for this. I issue and sign this story to developer first, and then I am going to ahead and creating subtask for the story, and that is going to be identify important keywords to track, and then I am going to select create, and that is the all information I wanted to add at this specified story. I got one subtask. I also add another one of like one, but I'm leaving that is a click a close, and you can see I have two stories within one task. Under each of the stories, once each task is under progress, you can drag the access to progress again. Let's say for example this task over here was in progress and then it was completed say after a week, then you could drag that over done. You can see that all subtasks of for parent issue cts 12 are now done. That is the our story. Do you want to update the parent issue, which is the story, to match what you want to do? Select update, and you can see the story parent issue now completed. You can see the label done, and that is because of our subtasks within this story have been completed. Okay, so before we go ahead and finish this project workflow, the software development project, we need to identify what is scrum roles are. This is an important terminology that you need to understand when it comes to software development. So scrum role is essential the hierarchy of employees working on software, and how they interact and a function to achieve an agile development. Firstly, you have to the project owner. So this is the person that is responsible for the entire project. This is the project management. So someone that deals with the customer, understand what the customer or client wants to create. That you have scrum master. This is the essentially the middleman that connects the managed flow information between the product owner, so the manager of the project, and the development team. So for example, the manager of this entire project, so the manager of the epic would be the project owner, and then the scrum master would be, say for example, if click on the sub task and then we navigate up to our story or parent issue over here on a sign, this would be our scrum master, because they are managing the activities of the developer team, and they would act as the middleman that connects the flow of information between the project owner and that owns the entire project or oversees this project, and then team that works on specific tasks. So if I exit out of this one of that leads us on to the scrum team, this and the team hands on is complete project task. So if I select this task here, you can see that this task is unsigned. What I would to do, select a developer that's hands on and complete specific task. So I hope that makes sense. You have to the project owner, the scrum master, and the scrum team. I am going to exit out of this, and that essentially everything you need to know when it comes to scrum roles and managing your projects. Now you can also navigate up to people, and you can invite new teammates. You can also create a specific teams. That's quite straightforward. You can invite people via email, then to write of the people we have to app. Essentially what we can do is further streamline the communication and the integration between other application that you use within your organization. You can connect this to Jira and basically optimize that flow of information. Now if we navigate up to projects and we come down to create a project, we can actually go ahead and create other different types of project. For example, a classic project, next gen project. If we select a classic project and then down here to create a new project, we can simply add a new name. Below that we have templates. Now at this moment we have scrum selected. This is ideal for software development. However, if you want to create a project management workflow for another business type, simply come down to change template. Here we can navigate up to software and come down to business, and here you can see other project management templates that you can use for your business templates. For us, we would just select the standard project management. If we are creating a project management workflow for another business, this is not a software based business, and then here I am going to go ahead and quickly name this website design project. the key down here is going to be WDP. Below that we have to template which is project management selected. Again we can change the templates if we like, and then down here what team is the again templates, what team is this for us. We are going to go ahead and keep design selected, then come down and click created, and just like you have to basic project management templates, project management board and workflow. Remember, an issue is an element type. You had simply clicked create new issue and simply go ahead and add new task in there. However, we are going to leave it at that. For today's beginners tutorial we have covered everything we wanted to cover when it comes to getting started with project management, when it comes to agile teams and creating projects surrounding software development. What we will do is create one more advanced tutorial in here future that will help dive deeper into what Jira has to offer. However, you should now know how to get started with Jira, decided if this is the best option for you, or like we mentioned at the beginning, this tutorial getting started with Trello, which is the more user friendly, simplistic and entry level project management software. So take the time to experiment with the different elements within Jira to see if this is the right solution for you or your small business. And there we have to, guys, here we come up with the Jira over explanation, and thank you for watching.